Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar about how regulatory bodies can modernize inspection management with Microsoft. I'm Fred. I'm the VP of Marketing, and I've got my friend Chris with me today. And
Hello.
we've got also two other people from our team, the exceptional Mariam and Clara Aubé. So if you have highly technical question or in-depth question about what we're doing today, they are the best person to answer your question. So we'll start the webinar. Don't hesitate if you have any question. You can write it in chat, write it in the Q&A, and we'll be pleased to try to answer as much as we can during this webinar. And for sure, the inspection process can be quite complex. Today it's a small 30 to 45 minutes webinar, so we won't be able to cover all the realm of possibilities, but our goal is to simply to showcase what we did develop over the years with different regulatory bodies for inspection management with a modern platform. Okay. So today webinar, we're going to start with a quick presentation about JusticeOff, about the platform that we did develop with on Microsoft stack, and what can exist and what will be the future of inspection management with new technologies. JustSoft has been in the digital transformation for the past 28 years. I've been working on JustSoft for the past 9 years. I think, Chris, you're at your 10
Ninth,
years or 9 years too, right?
ninth year or two. Yeah.
And so we've got a team of 110 specialists, and we've been developing also AI agents, so AI tools that can help us do our work. And now today we've got 85 AI agents that are in action every day. Justice, that's our core value. We decided about 7 years ago to be 100% focused on Microsoft technologies, and one of the main reason is that ability to work with all that stack coming from Microsoft 365 with SharePoint, with their ERP Business Central, with the Power Platform to develop low code, no code application, and now with Microsoft Copilot that's been launched for the past 3 years. We try to develop specialized solution, and what we've been doing for the past 15 years is we've been working with multiple regulatory bodies into developing locally here in Canada top technologies to help regulatory bodies to simplify their processes and automate as much as possible. Doing the next slide. So pretty much what we are doing as a company is we develop application on Power Apps and customize the application to manage the complete process for association management to regulatory management. So we did develop for the past 15 years an application for regulatory bodies, and for the past 4 or 5 years we transferred that application on the Microsoft Power Apps to have much better integration, to have better API, and have much more in terms of new technologies and new features. So what we did develop on Microsoft is the ability to manage members. So to be able to manage your members, their applications, the whole complex application process to gather all the required information. We manage the annual renewals as well. So to be able to send the invoice, send the information that a member go through the web portal, fill out his information for his annual renewals, and then we connect everything automatically to the accounting software. So it's much faster and much easier to use and manage. And for the regulatory side, we did develop multiple modules on Microsoft Power Apps. So we did develop solution for investigations, inquiries, complaints committees, continuous education, and much more. Today, we're going to cover a really small part, that's the inspection and audits for your inspection programs. Pretty much what we've seen over the years, okay, it's been 15 years, is uh, regulatory bodies have different processes and different systems, and sometimes they are not integrated, sometimes they are even built in Excel. And so we try to build systems that help us automate as much as we can, and also to simplify the process to help the inspector and your managing team to be much faster in their work. The second thing is the problem of fragmentation of documentation. What we've seen is a lot of association was managing documents into mailbox. Today, with the rise of ransomware, the rise of security risk, to manage documents like that without using a security portal, it can be really tedious for the members, for his personal information, and with the current change of legislation, there can be a lot of risk. And also there can be a risk for the association, because as an example, you receive an infected document. We want to make sure that document is legit before opening it on your own desktop. That could infect your server and everything. The second thing that we've seen with all those different unconnected tools is the time-consuming reporting on both things for the inspector to have a good visibility on their task, on their inspection, on the program, and how it's going. And the second thing is for the management to be able to do the different reporting, either for the internal teams or external teams. And the last thing that we've seen is the challenge in terms of file sharing, collaboration. What's currently happening in the market is people share files on OneDrive, and so there is a multiplication of documents, and we want to make sure that when we work with sensitive information like that, to be able to share with it good rules and a good security management. So what we did develop over the years with different partners is to have a system that can do automated member randomization for your inspection program. So you'll be able to define different rules and to be able to select a list of members and generate that randomization, to create files, to document, and to follow up with your inspection, and to keep as much information as possible, and to have pretty much all the information that you require within that file, and to set up notification based on different rules and based on different situation. We develop also a tool to be able to set up different surveys, and based on the inspection type, to be able to send those surveys to your members, and to try to automate as much as possible the self-audit part of the inspection. We build a tool to be able to ask for documents in a secure way through the portal. So we never send it documents through emails, through links, through DocuSign or stuff like that. We try to manage everything within the portal to be more secure for your organization, but for the member sensitive information as well. We build a tool that automatically build the SharePoint and build the SharePoint structure, so you don't have to spend a lot of time building folders and creating subfolders and placing the documents at the right place within SharePoint. So we want to automatically create all that hosting, file hosting within SharePoint. One of the good thing with Microsoft Power Apps is they give us a stack of tools and benefits within the solution. All the interface is pre-coded by Microsoft, so we don't have to create the interface. It's the same thing with the ability to filter information, to create dashboard, to use AI, and we're gonna show a lot of those functionality today. We did develop also a tool to create tasks. So the goal is to have that possibility to create tasks for your members and to be able to follow up on those tasks automatically through either email or notification within the portal. The last two things is now with Copilot, there is a lot that we can do. We can easily draft emails. We can summarize documents. You can generate your inspection report. You can also accelerate a lot of different things because it's quite easy to build agents. And we're going to show you one example of an agent that we did with Christian today. And the last thing is the application as a mobile version. So if you're doing on-field inspection, you've got the possibility to take picture, to take notes, to do voice to text within the application. So you can dictate all the information rapidly. You can access the address to put it on maps. So you save a lot of times using that application. Okay, so today our demo, we did a fake collage so that we don't present true or false information. So we've created that nice collage of culinary technicians and chef. That's our own collage that we're playing with Christian. We're both fan of TV chefs, so we like to talk about that. So that's why we decided to create that fake regulatory bodies. Today you'll see Christian is our leadership team is going to oversee the February 2026 program for the inspection management. I'm the inspector that I need to coordinate multiple inspection and make sure that everything goes smoothly. And we've got our nice chef, John Mitchell, that's undergoing inspection. And we're going to show how we can manage with the portal, the different information that we're asking him to submit. Okay, Christian, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So it's a pleasure to talk to all of you today, and hopefully this demo will give you a clear vision of what our product team was able to create concerning the inspections. So let's say I start my day. I'm an employee of our regulatory body. I would start my day with this dashboard, which basically gives me really an overview of all the different inspection programs that are currently in process. So I can see the inspections per status. I can see that I have 12 that are currently assigned. I have 4 that are currently in progress. And if I want to see the data that's behind those charts, I can easily have access to it by clicking here in View Records. And I'll be able to view easily all those 12 inspections programs that are currently at an assigned state. And if I want to see the 5 that are currently at the new state, I can simply click on the different charter parts of the pie charts to give me a filtered out vision of those inspections programs, depending on the inspection status, so at which stage they're currently at. So this is one way that I can view the data. I have also an overview of seeing how busy every inspectors are currently. When I see blank, that means I have inspections programs for which I did not assign any inspectors. As you can see here, Claude that has 1 inspection in drafting, but he has still 10 inspection at assigned state. So it really gives us an overview of who's the busiest, who is maybe struggling in meeting the timelines that we're setting up. We can see really how everything is evolving per inspector, so that we can do different follow-ups with them, and or maybe make sure that maybe if one of our inspectors are overcrowded with inspections to do, well, we could easily reassign them to different inspector in our organization.
And I can. So, as an example, because Miriam, she's so good at doing her reporting, she's already doing her drafting. We could take a few inspection from Claude and reassign them to Miriam, right?
Exactly, most definitely, it can be done. can reassign the ownership, we can reassign the inspector. So those are all functions that are built in the solution. We can also, and pending, we can also, by security levels, determine who can reassign those assignments, so that not everybody can reassign everything. So that can be controlled with through privilege that are offered to security roles. And I can also see which uh, 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 employee has the most inspections to manage to make sure that the process is ongoing correctly. So as you can see, I currently have uh, I have 17 inspection that are that for which I'm the owner. So I have 5 that are at a new stage, 4 that are in progress, and I have 8 that's been assigned. So we can really have an overview of everything of what's going on, who managed what, and we have also a view of. Right now, I did a view that can allow us to see all the inspections program that are due to a visit within the next 30 days. And I can easily see also our infamous 5 inspections program for which we don't have an inspector assigned. So I can easily have access to that record and assign the inspector accordingly. So for example, if I'd like to add Fred here to this inspection, I can simply choose him from our list. And I can
But
also, Mhm.
Christian, I had the most inspection. You should give it to Miriam.
Okay, I'll give it to Miriam, so I can all I need to do is remove your name from here and pick Miriam from our inspector list. While we do so, we do have a way for you to validate that there's no conflict of interest between Miriam and Jean Cadieux, which is the member that will be inspected. So we can easily be able to identify if there's no conflict, or if there's a presence of conflict, so that we can reassign a different inspector. So all of this is done this way, so that once this is done, of course, my dashboard will update itself, and I should go, as you can see, the list updates itself automatically, and we're now down to 4 inspection programs that doesn't have any inspector that are being assigned to.
And
So,
and
mhm.
if I want to create my own dashboard, my own charts, my own tiles, is it hard? Do I need to have a programmer or something like that?
No, it's done on a super user on a user level, and of course, this is part of things that are part of our programs that we will train you to be able to do the dashboards. So it's really intuitive and it's not hard to learn, and it gives you the agility of having a dashboard that really meets your own personal requirements, so that you can have different layouts and different charters. So this is really a nice feature that is available within Legio. That's a good question, Fred. So on this stage, what I will do now, we're at this infamous time of year where we need to do our inspections programs, and sometimes I'm pretty sure for certain of you it could be a tedious task to accomplish. But Legio created a mass inspection program maker. So the first thing that we would need to do as a user is to determine a segment. So it could be by region, it could be by province. So we can determine which part of the we can determine that segment. Once that segment is created, we can do what we call a mass creation of inspection. So when we click here, we'll end up in this view here. By magic, everything is already pre-filled, because I know it's not exciting seeing somebody doing data entry. So basically, this is our inspection planning platform. So I can determine right now, it identifies that from my segment, I have 7 members that are in this segment. I can determine what type of inspection it will be. So in-person inspection, the category, so individual inspection with observations, and the survey. So the questions that our member will need to fill out on the portal to gather the information that will be necessary for the inspection process. Like mentioned, we did create a randomizer so we can set up by percentage. So inspection files, I'm going to, out of the 7, I'm going to withhold 65% of that list by randomly. So they will be decided by Legio, who are the lucky elected members that will have the inspection. And once this is done, all we need to do is create mass inspection, and they're gonna and those inspection will be created automatically for us without having to do them one by one.
And
You still
if
Mhm.
and if over the years I build my own randomizer, can I connect it with Legio to be able to send the members that we want to target with inspections?
Yeah, if there's open APIs that are present, they could be connected to Legio with no problem there. So it's depending on how your randomizer is set up. It's possible that we could retrieve it in Legio. So once we create mass inspections, so those are going to be created, I'll have access to the inspection list, so I can easily see all those different inspections that were created. So of course there were some of them that were already present, but they will end up here. We could create a view to see all inspections created within the last 30 days, and I can have access to with a natural language. I can ask the Copilot to sort out those inspections. So show me inspections with a uh, a new inspection status. So what's going to happen here is that it's going to sort out, instead of having to do those filters. There's no but you can have when it's well set up, you'll be able to do that filter with regular conversation, so that you can really have the list filtered out the way that you'd like to see it. So, but we can still do filters and adapt those views, and you have of course access to a lot of different views that are already system built for you. uh, so for our example today, we'll use our John Mitchell uh, member. I'm just going to hop in here. So this is the inspection form that was pre-filled. So a lot of those fields were already present. And as soon as the inspection program was created, there's automatic emails that are sent out to the inspector that will be assigned, or if we have identified him, and also the member will be notified that we could be notified that unless that we decide to be a unplanned visit. So we could also send out a template to the member that an email that you would receive a visit from one of our inspectors in the following weeks.
So,
So all of this,
so
yeah. Mhm.
pretty much based on all the different inspection category and the different step of my inspection program, I'll be able to automate as much as we can in terms of simple email communication or notification, right?
Exactly, that's exactly it. And they'll so there's not a lot of tedious task that you'll need to do as a user. Everything will be automatically sent out. And like Fred explained, depending on the inspection status, you could have different type of communication that will be sent out to make sure that the member as well as the inspector is informed. Another way, it's always important to be able to collaborate with between myself and the inspector. So in Legio, there's Teams that is built in, and what we can do within Teams is what we call a connected chat, so that when we talk together, me and Fred, we have in context the record. So instead of having me talking to Fred, we have the context of this inspection form in here. So as you can see, I wrote him, are we on the right track to meet the due date for this report? Fred received the inspection number, the targeted member, the inspector is Frédéric Charret, so it's him. And whatever we're exchanging in communication will be kept in the timeline here that you see. What is the timeline? A timeline in a form is every interaction that is done between yourself and your members will be accounted for here. So that means that if one day myself I'm not available to work on this inspection, I could relate Clara or Miriam will be able to pick up from here, and they'll have access to all the those interactions. So they'll be able to see the emails that were sent, the communications that was done between myself and Fred through Teams will end up in a timeline. So you'll really have a easy way for you to see the how the inspection is evolving. As you can see also, this is the Copilot logo. It's going to take into account every interactions that were done in here to give you a clear summary of what's going on right now with this inspection. So, and everything can be updated in real time. If there's any new activities that are created, you will give me a highlight of every important steps that were completed. Another important fact, let's say it might happen sometimes that we schedule an inspection date on location. There's changes that needs to happen. We need to modify the date of the inspection. I'm just going to put this down here. Let's say I change it from inspection assigned the visit date here instead of being February 26th. We're going to move it back to February 27th. I'm going to save the change. And Fred, as being part of our team chat, will receive a notification that there's a change that occurred. So we see review the Dynamics record recently updated by Christian de Monacos, visit date February 27, 2026. So as you can see, this is all in real time. It's the same. So if Fred is not in the CRM right now, he's on Teams, he's going to be able to see this conversation happening. So those are these are nice ways for you to collaborate between yourself and the inspection. I've got another inspection on that date. We'll talk later. I'm in a webinar. so 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 there we go. So this is the integration with Teams. Once this is completed, I'll be so this is the point of view of the staff member of the regulatory body, of our regulatory body. At this part on, I want to show you the point of view of the member once he's going to hop on the portal. So he's going to receive, of course, an email stating that he will receive an inspection. So he's going to log into his member portal, and from here he'll be able to look at the inspection section, and he'll be able to hop in the inspection section, and he'll be able to see what he needs to do, what he needs to answer. So we have here self-assessment questionnaire, professional inspection. So he'll have those questions. So we already created those answers so that we don't bore you with doing that. But basically, what you see here, those forms, those type of questions can be designed by at a user level, at a super user level, meaning you don't need to know how to do HTML, how to change. So our product team did an awesome job so that you don't need to understand how to code to be able to do those forms and insert them within the member portal. During the steps, we can add parts where we need to have where the member needs to upload documents. For example, do you have any written policies or procedures relevant to your practice? He answered yes. If yes, please list them or attach the document. So John Mitchell decided to upload the document. And once he uploaded the document, he'll be able also to review it, just to make sure that he didn't send out the wrong document. So you'll be able to double check. Yes, it's perfect. That's the restaurant caribou procedure module. So it's all good. Everything is legit. So you can keep an eye out for that. And so once you go all the way to the process, All those answers are so, of course, are seen on the point of view of the member, but me as a staff member of our regulatory body, I'll be able to see those responses directly from the inspection. I have here survey response. I click here, which is going to open this page here, and I'll be able to see the answers that was given, the documents that were uploaded. So I have really, even if I don't, I cannot log in the member portal because it's his own access. I'll be able to see how he answered to the questions that were asked to him. Okay. So that's one way of seeing them, and there's of course different options that are that would allow you to see those response also. On the on another point of view, I wanted to show you. So this, of course, this inspection has moved forward in steps. We have already gathered a lot of information. We can see also one important fact for a lot of you, you would be able to audit to understand when did the change of status happen. So there's a way for you to have an audit of those modifications, of those changes that occurred during the inspection process. At this step, we can identify the observations and recommendation from the inspector. So the inspector recommended a second visit in 3 months. He gave me a summary steps to follow up, so the things that will need to be reevaluated in 3 months. And I'll be able to, following that, we'll be able to give the assessment to the revision committee so that they can take a decision on if the inspection is officially failed or if it passed at this point. So we can see that any decision that was made by the committee. I could easily see that at the inspection, Johnny Mitchell. Now this was approved. This the one that I wanted to show you, but you'll be able to see the different decisions that were taken. If there's a fine that needs to be applied, if there's anything that, what are the repercussions of the failed inspection will show up in the committee review that you see here. Upon so on this step, we basically what we showed you thus far. We've shown you how, as an employee of our regulatory body, I was able to have an overview of all the upcoming inspections. I was able to do a mass inspection program without having doing them one by one, which is really time consuming. I'm pretty sure for most of you if you're doing it manually. And of course, we've shown you how we can see the evolution of the inspection based on the status changes, on how what the member did to fill out the forms on the portal, and we'll also have access to those documents that are linked within SharePoint, where I can see the documents that were uploaded by our members. I can open it, and I'll be able to have access to the document itself right here. And this is where a lot of the magic can happen, where you can have, if you have M365 Copilot, a lot of those inspections report can be pretty heavy in details. So you can use Copilot here to make an executive summary, please. I'm always polite with the AI. I tend to always ask, please. I should not do that, but anyways. And here, what he's currently doing is he's looking at all the information that was gathered from the inspection, and it will provide me an executive summary of the inspection. He's going to identify me my primary risks that were identified during the inspection, major findings, minor findings, correction action plans that could be applied, that would need to be met for our next visit, for example. And he's going to be a final determination. He's going to even give me a way for me to, he's going to analyze to see if the member passed or failed the inspection. The site is not compliant due to two major findings that require systemic corrective actions. No enforcement actions were taken because issues are correctable to improve training and process control. John Mitchell did not pass the inspection. Compliance can be restored once all corrective action are completed. So basically, instead of you still, of course, need to have your own idea. You need to revise this, but the AI is there to assist you to save you a lot of time of creating those executive summary, of having the important information, and that's how we can then gather that information and enter it in the observation uh, and recommendation part, so that we know exactly what needs to be done to the next visit for that for this member. Oh, Fred, you're muted if you're trying to speak.
Yeah, I was wondering also with the system we can generate report draft with all the information we've collected, and so this way we can save time as well instead of having to copy paste everything within our report, right?
Exactly, yes. That's exactly it. And of course you do have Copilot in the Ledger. What I did prior to the meeting, I asked him, what is the assessment of this inspection? You ask about the assessment of the inspection that was recently conducted. The inspection was completed on February 26th. The inspector is a second visit in 3 months. The inspection is submitted to the professional practice committee, and there was no conflict of interest reported between the inspector and the member that is being inspected. So as the AI grows, it's going to give you better assessments, but it really gives you an overview quickly of how the inspection is going and what would need to be the next steps for this inspection itself.
And because Copilot is within your M365 environment, there is no way that you can get that information if you don't have access to those specific files. So it keeps the information secure, so you won't, if someone uses Copilot outside of your organization, they won't be able to get that type of information.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Uh, there's also a way for you to work within Teams itself. You can create your own channel, and in a channel you can add a tab to see, for example, if you just want to see a view of active inspections that are ongoing, you could have that view here, and you can have also a direct access to their SharePoint folder with all the documents that are stored, uh, with the root being the inspection ID number, and then I can also have access to those documents here. But overall, you don't need to do this because they are going to be within the inspection form. We just wanted to show you that it's bi-directional. So what is present in the CRM in Ledger, I'm sorry, will also be present in SharePoint, of course, because that's where the documents are stored. And for the SharePoint site that is created with Ledger, you have full control on who can have access to this SharePoint site. So if only a lucky few can have access to that documentation, well, you can really have a form of control on who can access the SharePoint site to be able to open those inspection reports. So those are the fast points I wanted to show you. Filling out we went through, like I mentioned, the point of view of the member employee of the regulatory body, so myself, on how I can work with that module. We showed you how the inspector can have access to communication, how we can have direct communication, that the system Ledger will notify by email the inspector if ever he to be informed that he has an inspection that you'll need to do a visit for. We'll have also, and we showed you the point of view of the member of how they can fill out the inspection, the pre-inspection forms, that the questionnaire that's been sent out, or the surveys, and how he can upload his documents and how they can be seen within Legio itself, so that you don't need to have access to the portal, the members portal, to have access to how he answered the questions and what document he uploaded. So that's the streamline of our accelerated demo. Is there any questions or anything that haven't shown you today that would be of high interest for you?
And uh, while we wait, if there is any question, like I don't know, Christian, if you can show also Copilot how easy it can be to build agents today with Copilot,
Sure.
because we showed different scenarios, but Copilot is nice tools to be able to really build as many agents as you wish on different roles and different responsibilities. So, as an example,
Hmm.
we showed in your Copilot Studio that you can.
Yeah. Not even in Copilot
Yeah.
Studio. So right now I'm at the M365 dashboard, and you'll notice there's a section now called agents. So we can easily create a new agent, and how you can set him up. Let's say we want to exec summary agent. So we can give him a description, and this is where all the magic happens. Is basically we're going to give him instructions. So how we want him to respond. Do you want him? We will guide him in telling us whatever information you're giving us. Always validate the source of what you're telling us. This is something that's very important, because sometimes we use the AI, and the AI will extrapolate or invent certain answers without having backup proof. So all those instructions are what can be created here. And the funny part is that you can even use Copilot to ask him to create instructions for an agent that would be specialized in creating executive summaries for all inspections report that are sent out. So, and once this is done, you simply create the agent, and then you'll be able to this. Once you create it and publish it, it's only available for you. So there's no risk at creating agents and wondering, oh my God, am I doing something that will be pushed throughout all the organization? The answer is no. When you create an agent, it's private unless you decide to share it with people within your organization. So this is really a first step for anyone that wants to initiate themselves with the creation of agents, to start this way, and then as time goes, you'll be able to create more than one agent. I myself, I have about 12 to 15 agents that works for my daily task that I need to do. So this is a quick way for you to be able to jump in the agent creation, so it can go as. And one other thing, you can also tell him where you want him to base his answers from. So if you have, for example, an internal knowledge base that's created from a SharePoint site, you can tell him only answer me questions that are where you can find the answer that are based in our SharePoint. So it's going to be, you'll be able really to have a full control, because if you don't give him directions, he's going to go throughout all the internet to find the answers. But if you want him to be more specific, more specialized, if you have a nice database of information where you want him to base his knowledge from, you'll be able to do so easily. I think I saw a question, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
Fred.
Yeah, we've got a question that someone who's currently working with Dynamics 365 with a developer is, can they use that either a second layer within their Dynamics 365? Uh, do you want to answer, or I can answer if you want, Christian?
Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, so pretty much we did develop an app for Dynamics 365. Under Dynamics 365, the customization platform is called the Power Apps. So we did
Mm-hmm.
develop the Power Apps application. So yes, if you've got a developer and you've seen a lot of things that you like in our application, we could work with your developer to use the application at a starting point or an accelerator to help you get a lot of what we develop over the years to help you into your Dynamics 365 project. One example, we did invest over 2 millions in that product that we really developed over the years. There is, I think, 250 customization possible within the systems and different entities that you can leverage with your Dynamics 365 developer. And the good thing is, because we did develop that on the Power Apps and not Dynamics 365, is you don't need Dynamics 365 license to be able to access all that. So instead of paying like hundred of dollars per users, it costs much less because we're leveraging the Power Apps license. We've got a second question from Terry. Is any of our customers highway enforcement officer or inspection of public transport vehicles? No, but I'm sure Miriam or someone from our team will be interested to talk to you to see if there is some fit in what we've developed over the years, and to see if it does answer your needs. We do offer those free appointment and workshop to see the product a bit more in details and to understand what we do offer.
Yeah, great question. Is there anything else? Let's see here. Okay.
So again, if you have more questions that you don't want to write publicly, don't hesitate to write to us at info@juststuff.com. I manage personally the info box by passion, but I'll be pleased to forward the email to the right person within the team, and to make sure that we answer privately your question. If we did show only one modules out of like dozens, so if as an example you would like to see more different scenarios that you didn't see today, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm pretty sure we did develop over the years something in our software that could answer your needs. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.